And it was round about this time that I started suffering with panic attacks in my life. These panic attacks were very hard. They were very difficult to deal with. I actually checked myself into hospital twice, literally thinking I was dying. And they were just like, you're not dying. We've just done a scan on you. You're fine. Do you ever struggle with anxiety? And I'm like, what's anxiety? This is like 2018 time. I didn't even know what anxiety was. I knew how it felt like because I'd felt like that all my life. You know, I thought it was just, I feel like my heart's beating really fast in my chest and I've got to go and do something to calm down. That might normally be drink, alcohol, drugs, food. And I realised that, God, when the doctor explained it, I was like, I've experienced with anxiety my whole life. If I was a child and I had a nightmare and I woke up and I felt scared, I would often sneak downstairs and put biscuits in my mouth. And all of a sudden these things started unraveling in my mind when I'm like, I've always used food. I've always been an emotional eater. Even though I'm a health professional, even though I've got degrees in exercise psychology and sports nutrition, even though I'm a bodybuilder, even though I'm a qualified personal trainer and I teach people how to lose weight, even though I know all of the nutritional stuff, I've always been an emotional eater. And that made me feel so ashamed. But when I started actually understanding what it was, the moment I felt anxious or overwhelmed or nervous and I got the physical symptoms of the heart palpitation, the racing thoughts, that really nervous, restless energy, I would take myself off, I would hide in secret, and I would numb with food on autopilot. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that. And when these panic attacks started happening in my life, and I'll get into that in other episodes about the psychology behind how I understood why I was experiencing depression and anxiety and how I actually help people overcome depression and anxiety inside of my coaching program. I also talk about it in my book. There's a 7-step framework that explains why you would be suffering with anxiety and depression in your life. These 7 environmental voids are the system and the framework that I use to help people uncover the reasons why they are experiencing depression or anxiety. And food is often the symptom of those depression and anxieties. So I didn't even realize at the time what I was experiencing with severe anxiety and depression from a few things that I wasn't dealing with in my life. But I was just trying to mask it through getting in amazing shape. So I convinced myself I'll be happy if I maintain this 6-pack. I'll be happy if I win a bodybuilding show. I'll be happy if I do a fitness photo shoot and I get loads of clients from it. I'll be happy if I get 100 likes on an Instagram photo. I'll be happy if I get accepted for how I look. That's all I cared about. And I didn't even understand underneath that there was some mental health issues going on. So I was using my body as this shield. You'll get happiness, you'll get worthiness, you'll get love if you look a certain way. But it was fueling this disordered relationship with food where I would restrict myself. I guess a doctor, if they diagnosed me at the time, they would have given me maybe anorexia or orthorexia or maybe body dysmorphia. One of those things, I was displaying multiple disordered eating behaviors, which again I get into in the book, and I'll break them down in another episode, all the types of disordered eating behaviors to look out for and how you can see which ones you are struggling with. I was struggling with multiple.